It is the 7th of July. That's a fact. It is. And we are trying something new today. We are going live through Restreamer.io or Restream.io or whatever to see if we can't, if it helps to maybe go live on Facebooks and the YouTubes of the worlds. So, hi, YouTubes and Facebooks peoples who maybe don't have Twitch accounts. We are potentially live on all three platforms. I don't know. And I don't know how to even chat with you guys if you are on those. So if I'm not responding to you, the source stream is on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/SNCG. So come join us here. Otherwise just hang out there. You might just not be responded to. And if I might, maybe I figure it out before then about how to do that. Yeah, right. We'll see how it works. What's up, Yelly? How you doing, man? We heard back from Sounddrop, by the way, and they secured 5 of the 6 licenses, and unfortunately that means it's got to be another round back. So we'll see. I basically ended up providing them just a lot of details around 1943. That was the track that they weren't able to find a source for. Basically, their rule is they say that the song has to have been released in the United States for them to actually be able to secure the mechanical license for it. So we'll see if this works. But basically, I just went through and did my due diligence to go through and find as much info as I could to get to them to basically prove that, all right, yes, pretty sure it was released in the United States on this record. Here's the RS, whatever there's like an acronym for identifying it. Gave them that, gave them, multiple links to different things. So hopefully that'll work and then it'll just be done. But the other 5 were good, which is kind of funny because those are the 5 that, actually happened properly. So I was kind of borderline thinking of just dropping 1943 and moving forward with it. But I figured I'd give it one more last ditch effort to try to get it on there. And then if they come back and say they just can't get the license, then fine, we'll release it as a 5 song thing, and then it should just go smooth from there, I would assume. So, anyway, so I think what we were going to do today. So originally I was going to have my buddy Joe show up and track some drums today. Alas, he had some things come up, so he can't do that. Tomorrow might actually have 2 drummers in the studio. Yes, it will. It'll be released by Christmas. So I did end up tracking drums on Saturday myself, but they're whatever. I'm sure I could make them work in a pinch, but ideally I'd rather one of them retrack it, and at least I've provided kind of like the pattern for something to start from, inspire from. So I figured that today then could probably just work on the lyrics to this song. I've actually upgraded my machine. I think I mentioned that on Saturday. I don't know if maybe I hadn't upgraded it on Saturday. No, I hadn't. So on Sunday, I think on Sunday is when I think there's probably a little bit of reverb on the voice. Let me see if I can. This one. Yeah, it should be a little less right there. I added just a little bit. It should have been there for a while though. I don't think it should be any different. Anyhow, thought it'd be good to kind of go through and write those lyrics because we don't really need. That's kind of a good thing to do on stream anyway. Maybe we have some collaboration on that. Maybe we don't. I don't know. But we'll see how it goes. So Interesting. Yeah. That could be that you're hearing, hey, what's up, Dad Rock? You could be hearing the, I am running my light, and I'm running my disco ball. So there's a lot of extra noise in the room. I figured that's fine today since we're not really tracking. Just going to be maybe writing some lyrics. Yeah, and still thinking about what we're going to do next, theme-wise. So I did update the site a bit. Probably talk about that a little bit. So on the projects page, this now does save directly to the server. I fixed the validation issues I was having. So now this actually does just show the tracks that are in green again. And then I also changed our suggest page to be a little bit more specific about what you're submitting for, and then kind of broke everything up into the chunks of the themes, so original song ideas, cover ideas, and then like collection album theme ideas. And basically every other thing here. So we don't have any parody suggestions yet. We don't have any music video suggestions yet. And I'm sure I'll kind of expand on this as we get more and more ideas under the something else. And it makes sense to do that. But I did have one idea of almost like combining some of the ideas we had, which is, we had that idea of the Christmas thing, the COVID Christmas thing, but then we had that other idea of the stuff that went public domain. But it makes me think, hey, maybe we could take those specifically Christmas songs that have become public domain, and then we can totally like do them our own way and just use that as kind of like inspiration. But ultimately make, a completely an original Christmas record that just draws on a lot of the inspiration from some of the stuff from the early 20s, I guess. But was just an idea, so we don't necessarily have to do that. Anyhow, so I think, I'm going to have to figure out where I saved this. So I've upgraded this machine. I don't know if I mentioned that. So it is actually officially upgraded now. So it's actually here. Show what we're running now. So that is the setup. So it's a i5 9600K, and it's supposed to be actually OC'd. I don't know why that's showing 3.7. Maybe it doesn't show the overclock on here. Should be overclocked to 5, but maybe it boosts to 5. I'm not sure. But certainly quite a big step up from what we were running before. So should be able to run. Yeah. Nice. Heck yeah. I actually, it's a bummer. I had bought a 3 terabyte drive specifically for this machine, and I hadn't got around to setting it up yet. And then it was like the perfect opportunity to drop it in, now that I've switched out the new machine and everything. Great time, dumping everything anyway. Tried to load it up, and it's broken. So it was DOA. That sucks. So what I am running, though, is I have the root drive's a 256 gig SSD. Then I have just a terabyte standard drive, and then I have another terabyte SSD for storage. So I figure I'll put some of like the sample libraries and any like reused content on that 1 terabyte solid state, and then I'll save our projects on the regular moving parts drive. So all right, well, I guess I can show that screen now. So this is what I was talking about, the how we've changed this form. So now for ideas, and feel free to hit this up now and just continue to just load it up. Nothing's going to fill this page until I go through and look at it. So feel free to put whatever you want in here, and I'll get my eyes on it and ultimately get it into the lists. I need to actually go through and kind of add like another step of kind of removing stuff that maybe we don't want to do now that time has gone by. But but that's sonicguys.com/ suggest. Oh yeah, and then the projects themselves. So now going forward, whenever someone makes a contribution to a project, it'll actually if I accept it, right from the admin, it'll immediately show up here directly as being associated with that project. So it's all done in a proper data first way. So the next thing I want to do is eventually get, once these are actually published, once we actually have those links onto like Spotify and what have you, probably just put like a link to those, like where you can hear the published version from this page, and then maybe even break this table up. That said, I am just ranting along, so I'm going to go to my email now. I think I need to re-download. Actually, no, I think I might have it. Probably just need to copy it from the server back to my drive here. Let's see here. So hey, Dadrock, does it happen to show me streaming on Facebook? I mean, ideally, would like this to be the main source stream, but just curious if that is actually being persisted there or not. You're lagged out? Oh, logged out. I thought I was having like stream problems. Interesting. I did see I had Restream open and I saw it going live, but I guess I'll have to look back and see what it says. Oh, nice. Cool. Thank you. Yeah, I don't even know how to pull it up. Oh, and there it is. Now I see it. Oh, weird. I hope it's not. Nice. Okay, I'm actually kind of afraid to bring it up because I don't want it to start broadcasting into the stream or something. But if it's going, I'm happy with that. For those of you that are listening on Facebook, the source stream for this is at twitch.tv/SNCG. So I apologize if I'm not seeing. This is the first time trying to stream to multiple services, so I'm sure I'll figure that out eventually. But I'm worried about it doubling up the audio and feeding back. So forgive me if I'm not responding to your messages there. But you can come to Twitch and message here, and I will respond for sure. Okay. Let's see. Hey, thanks, Dad Rock. Appreciate that. He said, yeah, Dad Rock linked the Twitch channel in the Facebook post for you guys that are listening on Facebook. Ah, nice. I'll have to check that out, Yili. Yili says there's an app for combining YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch chats into a single chat. So the one thing that would be interesting is seeing how that works with the chat bot. I assume the chat bot, it probably would, be specifically looking for the Twitch chat, but I guess all we're really using that for right now anyway is just to so you guys can control the cams. But anyhow, I am trying to find this stuff. Downloaded maybe? Is it this? No? Yeah, there it is. Aha. Okay. So this is it. Projects. Oh, you know what I should probably do is I should make a link to this. There we go. I should just keep it on this folder. Okay. No, don't stop. Lyrics. Here we go. And we're going to go ahead and say this is lyrics by Caleb Clapp and Sonic Guys. Okay. So the chant intro, I'm pretty sure, is just where he's saying, no, don't stop. No, don't stop. So we're going to actually need to load this up and listen to those. Well, maybe I have... Which one is this? No. Let's go ahead and load that up in Cubase here. He was born with music in his veins. Oh no. I had pulled up the stream and immediately I just need to mute this tab. There we go. Okay. Okay, so the verse 2 is girlfriend dumping a bad boyfriend, apparently. So probably she was something. There we go. We got it all loaded up, maybe? Almost? What's it doing? The hell? That was weird. Okay. So let's just find the verse here. Oh, that's right. This isn't working now. I gotta remap my... That sucks. Really? Come on, cycle. Okay. So the thing was, he was born without music in his veins, and without money he had no easy path to fame. Remember the orchestra I showed you a few weeks ago with the spaghetti western music? Oh no. Well, that sucks. Who was that? Hmm. Oh. Bummer. Yeah. With great sadness, we say goodbye to a big master of cinema. Wow, that's weird. Weird timing. So I got to think about this one a little bit. And I assume we can probably change a little bit of what these verses are. Oh, there you go. Yeah. No, yeah, for sure. Totally should do that. Yeah, we need to figure out what we're gonna do. I'm actually right now. A buddy of mine made a zombie film years ago, and he's having me. I guess I had some issues with the subtitles, so I'm going through and realigning a lot of the subtitles, which is really tedious. But it's kind of good just to get back into Vegas and another weird thing popped up. Like I had just upgraded Vegas on a deal, and like what, 2 weeks later, I ended up getting a notification that if you upgrade now, you get an automatic free update to Vegas 18, which comes out like in August or something. So I ended up writing Magix and told them, hey, can I get in on that? They said I have to basically like completely cancel and refund that order to do it, but at least it sounds like I still will be able to do it. But it seems like they should have a better way to do the logistics for that kind of stuff. It's a pain in the ass. Anyway. Okay, so this was Caleb's song. I want to be careful about the whole no don't stop thing getting pervy. Like, don't want it to go there. So I'm trying to think of how like this is actually going to be interesting from. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah, they got back to me pretty quickly, so that was a good sign. So hopefully they take care of it and we're good. Okay. So I feel like this is still up in the air. I feel like this could be about anything. Let's listen to it with his actual words in here. Enable. Oh, weird. Is that not working? I wonder why that's. Oh crap. I still have to install the script. That sucks. Here. Well, that's weird though. No, because I didn't wipe that machine. That should just be working. I wonder if they like upgraded. Like what? Or I wonder if, you know what I wonder? I wonder if that has to do with the fact that I'm streaming through Restream. I bet you that's what it is. Here, well, I'll just bring up the screen for now. Anyway, doesn't seem like anyone's listening or watching on Facebook anyway, so probably end up dropping that idea. Let's see. Oh, let me turn that off. There you go. Yeah, for sure. Okay. So, what are some other things that someone could actually have said? So what's funny is actually my wife says that to sometimes, like when, like I'll do something that annoys her, and she'll say, "No, don't stop." And and I'll just keep doing it, and it's something that we've laughed at each other for a long time on. But, oh, cool, man. So what are you using for the animation then? Like, what's your go-to app for doing animation? No shit. Wow. Shit, you're a jack of all trades, sir. I've spent a little bit of time looking at Blender, but yeah, I just didn't really get too far into it. I think the most I've done is, used it to make some plans for a shelf. Oh, gotcha. Okay. There you go. So yeah, so you definitely understand just like how to, just had to kind of like move the muscle memory around. Yeah, I remember 3D Studio Max. Like at that time, that was like over my head. I tried it a couple times, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I think it makes a little bit more sense now. So, Dad Rock's also big into art. Like he's, I think more on like the Photoshop and Illustrator side, but some more 2D stuff. But I assume he probably has a place in his heart for that too. Yeah, that's the way I am with just like Illustrator and Photoshop. It's like I can get around, but yeah, I would prefer to delegate those responsibilities. But yeah, but if you're able to do animations and stuff, that's pretty sweet. Yeah, and if you do something like that, I'd love to try to get it out there. All right, so don't stop. I think almost like maybe it's just girlfriend annoying boyfriend. Just like, so it's almost like the reverse roles of what my real life. If my wife was doing those things to me, if I always said, no, don't stop. Wait before the drop. Wait before the drop. I don't think there's really a drop in this song. But you're probably talking about something else. Oh, yeah. Well, I'll at least write down. No, don't. So no, don't stop. Wait before the drop. Wait until the drop. Okay. Yeah, so that'll probably be something somewhere down the line. Because the chorus goes, he said, no, don't stop. And so he just kept on. Oh, I see. So he actually has a chorus for the bad boyfriend. So maybe we should still keep it around that. Or I guess it could still. Huh. And so she just kept on walking. Song's just not in my head enough to. Well, I need your help. I suck at lyrics. Well, I don't know if I suck at lyrics, but it's not my. Haven't done it in a while. And this is particularly more difficult, right? Song that's already been started. I'm trying to like fill in the blanks. Might need a couple more beers. But anyway, yeah, Yuli. Have a good night, sir. We'll talk to you tomorrow. No, you just kept on rocking. What is that? She was dun 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 dun. I feel like it's still got to start with she. Yeah. She was. She was. She's growing tired of his. Um. Selfish ways. Want to be able to say something selfish ways. He's growing tired of his done selfish ways. She's growing weary. She's growing weary of his ever selfish ways. The hell? Actually, that almost seems like a better third line or something. Another. Another day. Another missing. Another lost context. Another textual. Another day. Another. Another. Next. Another. The day. Another. Another trio. Another. Not trio. Another. Another group of words, another. We'll leave this the way it was, I guess. Another sequence. Oh, I can't spell syllable, can I? My God. Why has that not corrected me on this? I wonder if Word just doesn't have the, There we go. Wow, I feel silly. Guess you get to see just how bad my spelling is. There we go. I rely so much on autocorrect anymore. So I've forgotten how to spell everything. Another sequence of three single. Another sequence of three single syllable words. It's a sequence of three single. It's a sequence of three single syllable. It's a sequence of three single syllable. It's a sequence of three single. Why can't I? Why is that not running? It's a, another story of single syllable. Another story of three single syllable words. Another story of three singles. Another story of three single syllable words. Another story of three single syllable words. Another story of three single syllable words. Used out of context. Means a different meaning is heard. Another story of three single syllable words. Used out of context, different meaning is transferred. Is inferred. When she grew weary. Oh my God. She grew weary of his ever selfish ways. Another story of three single syllable words. Used out of context, different meaning is inferred. When she's grew wary of his ever selfish ways. Oh, so he did it. So he rhymed all four. Well, Clapmaster, you made it even harder by doing that. Don't double rhyme. You make life hard, man. Another story of three single syllable words. Used out of context, different meaning is inferred. When she's gone, when she's grown weary. She grew weary of his ever selfish ways. Who's ever selfish? Not ways. Can we find something? Learn. Let's see. Another story of three single syllable words. Used out of context, different meaning is inferred. God, and I just had something in my head and I lost it. Son of a bitch. I just need to say it. So then you guys can repeat it to me. Used out of context, different meaning is inferred. When it was clear. Her man, boyfriend sounds stupid. When it was clear, her man was. When it was clear, her man was something, something, something. When it was clear, her man. When it was clear, her man wouldn't. Damn it. Another story of three single syllable words. Used out of context, different meaning is inferred. When it was clear, It was clear a man would never. It was clear her man would never ever learn. She was out of town, he messed around. While out of town. While out of town, he messed around. Without concern. With no sounds weird. I don't know. With no concern, without concern. That's a tough one. It was clear a man would probably never learn. wonder if it should go there. While out of town, he messed around without concern. She suspected. Na, 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 na. While out of town. While out of town. She suspected, while out of town he messed around without concern. When she confronted him, he laid it out to her. It was clear a man would probably never learn. She had suspicions. She had suspicions. She had suspicions. Wow. Wow, I'm realizing that this is a really bad app for me because I can't spell anything right now. Oh, I'm pretty close. It's just O. That's a weird word. When's the last time you wrote the word suspicion? Like, there you go. Weird. She had suspicions. She had suspicions. Dun, 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 dun. While out of town, he messed around without concern. She had suspicions. I want to say she had suspicions that his heart was untrue, but to rhyme it with concern and sucks. So like this particular end rhyme is bad for having options to use here. Return is really the only outside of what I already have out there. It's like return, burn, turn. That's like it. Everything else is gonna get really weird. Midwestern. She had suspicions. She had suspicions. Unturned, downturned, discern. She had suspicions. I have no concerns. Turn. She had suspicion, her man had no concern. For their relationship, 3 years had not been burned. Hath. Hath burned. That fits with the whole kind of Tenacious D spirit this song has. Which now hath burned. Was clear and will probably never learn. Oops. swore he'd not return. No, I think because this is where I need to basically to go back to. He's going back and he's cheating again, and then she's gonna walk away. She had suspicion. Her man had no concern. He had suspicion, and her man had no concern for their relationship, 3 years which now hath burned. It was clear her man would probably never learn. When she confronted him, he'd swear he'd not return to a life like... That's where it actually changes. Turn off the loop, man. She had suspicion, her man had no concern for their relationship, 3 years which now hath burned. It was clear her man would probably never learn. When she confronted him, he'd swear he'd not return to a life like this, and something da-da, but da-da-da, but da-da-da-da-da. Another story of 3 single syllable words used out of context, different meaning is inferred. Another story of 3 single syllable words. Her man had no concern for their relationship, 3 years which now have burned. It was clear her man would probably never learn. When she confronted him, he swore he'd not return to that side action. Not return to that side action. He'd only just begun. Return to that side action. He'd only just begun. He's gonna. He did it once. He swore he'd not return to that side action. He'd only just begun, but he was in there once and having fun. And you know he wasn't done. When she confronted him, he'd swore he'd not return to that side action. He'd only just begun, but he was in there once, and you know he wasn't done. He got his to that side action. He'd only just begun. He was in. He'd only just begun. He got in there once. Just begun. He went there once. You know he wasn't done. He's gotta be. Oh. We haven't done Gruwari yet, yeah. To that side action, he'd only just begun. He went there once. You know he wasn't done. She's grown. And she grew weary of his ever selfish wants. Almost want to use done here there once. Want to use done elsewhere maybe. To that side action, he'd only just begun. There once, you know he wasn't done. And she grew weary of his ever selfish wants. Whoops. Always selfish. Always having fun. To that side action, he'd only just begun. He went there once. You know he wasn't done. Excuse me. To that side action, he'd only just begun. He went there once. You know he wasn't done. And she grew weary of him always having fun. I feel like that should be the last line. She grew weary. You know he wasn't done. It never dawned on him It never dawned on him he might end up with none. As she. That's good. How does that sound? Gonna turn to that side action, he'd only just begun. He went there once, you know he wasn't done. It never dawned on him it might end up with none, as she grew weary of him always having fun. And da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Another story of 3 single syllable words used out of context different. That's gonna change, yeah. No, I'm fine with losing the content. To that side action, he'd only just begun. He went there once, and you know he wasn't done. It never dawned on him he might end up with none, as she grew weary of him always having fun. And she divided. It never dawned on him he might end up with none, as she grew. She put a plan together. I like in place, I guess that's better. Ah, crap. Swore he'd not return to that side action, he'd only just begun. He went there once, and you know he wasn't done. It had never dawned on him might end up with none, as she grew weary of him always having fun. She put a plan in place to catch him. His rosy hands. Crimson hands. as she grew weary of him always having fun. She put a plan in place to catch his crimson hands. She didn't right in his hand. To catch his crimson hands. Hands. She put a plan in place to catch his crimson hands. His guilty hands. She put a plan in place to catch him in the act, and when the gig was up, he didn't seem to even react. When the gig was up, he failed to. And when the gig was up, he failed to. What was the other one? He did. And when the gig was up, he didn't even react. Oh, these lyrics are not great. She had suspicion, her man had no concern for their relationship 3 years which now hath burned. It was clear her man would probably never learn. When she confronted him, he swore he'd not return to that side action he'd only just begun. He went there once, and you know he wasn't done. But it never dawned on him he might end up with none. As she grew weary of him always having fun, she put a plan in place to catch him in the act. And when the gig was up, he didn't even react. He wasn't. Isn't difference? She put a plan, catch him in the act. And when the gig was up, he didn't even react. His indifference changed her whole means of attack. What am I missing? And when the gig was up, he didn't even react. His indifference changed her whole means of attack. I think I'm missing. He went there once, and you know he wasn't done. But it never dawned on him it might end up with none. As she grew weary of him always having fun, she put a plan in place to catch him in the act. And when the gig was up, he didn't even react. His indifference changed her whole means of attack. He wasn't done. As she grew weary of him always having fun, she put a plan in place to catch him in the act. And when the gig was up, he didn't even react. His indifference changed her whole means of attack. He said no. Plan in place to catch him in the act, and when the gig was up, he didn't even react. He didn't react. She said goodbye without even looking back. Without a And when the gig was up, he didn't even react. She said goodbye without a thought of looking back. goodbye without. She said goodbye without a thought of looking back. He'd only just begun. He went there once, and you know he wasn't done. But it never dawned on him he might end up with none. As she grew weary of him always having fun, she put a plan in place to catch him in the act. And when the gig was up, he didn't even react. She said goodbye without the thought of looking back. Without a thought of looking back. I think that works. Let's play it from here. That suspicion. Nope. She had suspicion, her man had no concern for their relationship, 3 years which now hath burned. It was clear her man would probably never learn. When she confronted him, he swore he'd not return to that side action. You know he'd just begun. He went there once, and you know he wasn't done. But it never dawned on him he might end up with none. As she grew weary of him, always having fun, she put a plan. Wait on. Oh, it was a side action that you want having. Okay. That actually doesn't make sense in one place there. She has that side action, he'd only just begun. Hmm. Their relationship was clear, will probably never learn. When she confronted him, he swore he'd not return to that side action. He'd only just begun. He went there once, and you know he wasn't done. To that side action, he'd only just begun. He went there once. He might end up with none. Whoa, is that insert on? That read weird as I wrote it, but actually I read it back and it's not bad. The gig was up and he seemed not to react. She said goodbye without a thought of looking back. Still have the problem with the fun though. Basically, I want to say fun up here because that's what I'm actually saying. None. You might end up with no fun. That side action. Um. That's hardly. You've gone there once and that side action. He'd only just begun. He'd gone there once, but not yet had his share of fun. But it never dawned on him he might end up with none, as she was. She put a plan in place. Do that side action. He'd only just begun. He'd gone there once, but not yet had his share of fun. It never dawned on him he might end up with none, as she was contemplating. Should put this in different color, probably, huh? There was hope. There was hope, her man. Was hope her man could maybe come to learn. That side action. Just missing this one part here. She had suspicion. Her man had no concern for their relation. Wait, now I've lost this whole line. Let me get that back in my head again. She had suspicion, her man had no concern for their relationship, 3 years which now hath burned. There was hope her man could maybe come to learn. When she confronted him, he swore he'd not return to that side action he'd only just begun. He'd gone there once but not yet had his share of fun. It never dawned on him he might end up with none. As she was contemplating da-da-da-da-da, she put a plan in place to catch him in the act. The gig was up and he seemed not to react. She said goodbye without a thought of looking back. No, don't stop. It all fits. Just gotta find a line. And she was never dawned on him he might end up with none. And she was contemplating da-da-da-da-da. That side action he'd only just begun. He'd gone there once, but not yet his share of fun. Never dawned on him he might end up with none. As she was contemplating da-da-da-da-da. As she was contemplating da-da-da-da-bun, da-da-da-da-sun, da-da-da-da. If you guys have any ideas, I'm all ears. She was contemplating blah, 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 blah. Doesn't have to be that either. This whole line could be different. Basically, he has a side action. She's not fully trusting him anymore. And so she's thinking about this. Now here she's where she puts the plan in place. So this is just really her starting to think about it, I guess. Never dawned him he might end up with none. As she was contemplating. As she was contemplating da 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 da. Suspicion, her man had no concern. Run. She wondered. That side action, he'd only just begun. He'd gone there once, but not yet had his share of fun. It never dawned on him he might end up with none. As she wondered if it was worth saving this one, she put a plan in place. It never dawned on him he might end up with none. While she wondered if it was worth. That side action only just begun. He gone there once, but not yet had his share of fun. It never dawned on him he might end up with none. Is it even worth it? Was it worth her? Try. Was it worth her effort trying to save this one? That side action, he'd only just begun. He'd gone there once, but not yet had his share of fun. It never dawned on him he might end up with none. Was it worth her effort trying to save this one? Was it worth her effort trying to save this one? Was it worth her effort trying to save this one? She put a plan in place. I think that's all good. I'm going to save. Those lines are actually good for something else, potentially. Put this down here. That in blue, too, so we know. Whoops, not what I wanted. There we go. Let's see how this rolls in. She had suspicion, her man had no concern for their relationship, 3 years which now had burned. It was hope a man could maybe come to learn. When she confronted him, he swore he'd not return to that side action he'd only just begun. He'd gone there once, but not yet had his share of fun. It never dawned on him he might end up with none. Was it worth their effort trying to save this one? She put a plan in place to catch him in the act. The gig was up and he seemed not to react. She said goodbye without a thought of looking back. And he said no, don't. Oh shit. Son of a bitch. I'll do it one more time. To learn when she can, he'd swear he'd not return. She put a plan in place to catch him in the act. The gig was up and he seemed not to even react. She said goodbye without a thought of looking back. And he said no, don't stop. And so she just kept on walking, 'cause she felt so hot from doing her own thing. You know, she left the flock and saw life in her own way. There was no reason to talk when she heard no, don't stop. Yeah, I don't know the inflection of that chorus, but don't stop. And it's supposed to be a quarter verse. God dang it, I keep accidentally loading Vegas. No. Close it. That needs to get out of the way. Maybe there. There we go. The story of 3 single syllable words used out of context, different meaning is inferred. Oh, so I wonder if that actually works. I see, so it's just one. So we just need one more of these. Hey, what's up, Adam? How's it going, man? Oh, I don't know. So this, let me stop the music. This track actually was posted by Clapmaster, a good friend of mine. He basically did like a rough guitar track and then added some lyrics to the for the first verse and chorus, and then added, like, I guess there's a second chorus, but then just some ideas around those things. But I think the idea is just the no, don't stop being the how you can say those in succession, and then it obviously means a totally different thing with the double negatives, right? So just his idea was just to use that in a few different contexts to be like, oh, you said no, don't stop. And so I kept doing it, right? So the first one's about like his first verse is like about a rocker. So I can actually play that here. That's actually a nice thing. Hepburn, Superman could maybe come to learn. When she confronted him, he swore he'd not return to that side action he'd only just begun. He'd gone there once, but not yet had his share of fun. It never dawned on him he might end up with none. Was it worth her effort trying to save this one? She put a plan in place to catch him in the act. The gig was up and he seemed not to react. She said goodbye without a thought of looking back. He said no, don't stop. And so she just kept on walking because she felt. So I think this chorus might need a little bit of massaging. And saw life in her own way. There's this line right there particularly. There was no reason to talk. These syllable words used out of context, different meaning is inferred. Rat. I love those new Geico commercials with Rat like just playing in the base or playing in their like attic and in their kitchen and shit. I thought that was pretty brilliant. I was like, good on you, Geico. That was that was on point. You guys got a good marketing team. So basically, I just need one more line here. So I had this. This works. This is great because this is kind of like summing up the what we're talking about, right? Another story, you have 3 single syllable words used out of context, different meaning is inferred. When you say no and don't. When you say no, then don't, then stop. Well, that means go. That's actually perfect. That just kind of wrote itself. I feel good about that. And then there's a one-line verse that's here. Let's see how this works, though. talk when she heard no, don't stop. Another story of 3 single syllable words. Used out of context, different meaning is inferred. When you say no, then don't, then stop, well, that means go. Don't stop. Does it go right to that? We probably want to say something else right there, but another story of 3 single syllable words. Used out of context, different meaning is inferred. When you say no, then don't, then stop, well, that means well, go doesn't. It needs to rhyme, so where's we got rhymer? Oh, here we go. Intent is blurred. There we go. Another story of 3 single syllable words. Used out of context, different meaning is inferred. When you say no, then don't, then stop, intent is blurred. No, don't stop. No, then don't, it's blurred. Oh, so I think it actually goes. I think it's halfway through. No, don't stop. Different meaning. When you say no, then don't, then stop, intent is blurred. No, I think it is just. Well, I only wrote the stuff in blue tonight, for what it's worth. Caleb basically did this. I'm just filling in some of the blanks. We still need to write the third chorus here, too. What about a to-do? Thank you. I guess we don't really need that anymore. It makes sense. Whoa. So this should probably change. The to-do there too. think that's really it. I mean, the song's pretty much there. So that's good. So yeah, I did update the site for making suggestions and such. Basically, this form will now only list the songs that we're accepting submissions for, which is just this one right now. But then we have another page here for suggest an idea, where you can basically choose, the type of idea you have, your name if you want to be credited, and then your idea, and then agree that we can use your shit. And then it'll end up in these tables here, and then we can kind of select what we want to do. So one idea that I'd like to do is almost like a combination of these. I was mentioning it earlier. It's like a bunch of Christmas songs that are public domain right now. There's a bunch of Christmas songs are public domain. And the cool thing about public domain songs is you can actually change them to your liking, because they're basically free game, right? So we could basically have some of the inspiration from some of those like 20s and earlier Christmas songs, but then kind of do them our own way. So I kind of like that idea. And then, of course, do it about COVID and like that through that lens. Through the lens of what Christmas is going to be like this year. And I think that might be fun. Be a fun project that I think will put a timestamp on like where we are in the world right now and where we're going, I guess. Of course, it'd be nice to just have a normal Christmas. Everything gets back to normal, but yeah, that's not going to happen, right? But anyway, yeah, so the cover EP is going to be out soon. Basically, we got licenses for everything except for this guy. So 1943, the Battle of Midway. Kind of hard to track down like the original song for that, but I think I was able to do it and sent them, or the distributor, that. So hopefully we'll be able to get that done, and we'll see that showing up on the services sooner than later. Might be another week or two, just because that they move really slow, but it is what it is. So tomorrow we're going to have potentially two of my good friends come hang out and maybe lay some tracks, maybe just hang out and BS. Who knows how that's going to go. We were going to have someone here tonight and someone here tomorrow, but that just kind of changed. So, so we'll see how that goes. And then this Saturday, I may or may not actually be streaming. Depends on, I might actually be going camping this weekend. So if I do, I'll put up a little notice that won't be live on Saturday if that's the case. But at the moment, still planning to if I'm here. So, but yeah, I think this is a good stopping point for where we got this evening. Basically got the whole second verse written, and I think I'm actually feeling good about just how it worked out, that these extra words kind of fit. Final chorus, the one-line verse here, not even sure if we may not even need this. We might even be able to fill this with a musical break, and then the last chorus, I guess, would be the final thing, but that shouldn't be. That's how big we're talking, so it shouldn't be that big a deal at all. But normally, we stream a little longer, but being as we weren't tracking tonight, I think we're at a good stopping point. I think I'm going to go ahead and sign off early for the evening, try to get some gaming time in, get some, going to try to get some, myself into some Elder Scrolls. I haven't played video games in a while, so want to go ahead and try to do that. And HUD, I got to about 30 minutes into the subtitles for Sullen, so I could actually just pull that up real quick just to show you what I was running into. If I'm allowed to do that. So one thing that's weird that happened is the areas that have parens, like where someone is in parens speaking, it seems like it almost stripped those. But yeah, I basically went through and I think I got to here. So whatever this is, 26 minutes in. So yeah, so you can see kind of like, let's play this first scene. You can see how it's syncing up. How do I make this full screen?
Oh, hey. You guys decided to stay, huh?
You told us we could crash here last night.
Oh, I did? Fuck, better something like last night. Is your TV broke or what, man? It will be if he keeps beating the shit out of me.
You know, the Seahawks are on in 2 minutes. Fucking TV.
Yeah, I don't know. It seemed to show that. I looked at this kind of the spec, and it did show things being in parens, but what I didn't see is parens and a colon.
Don't come in and ask
right? So I saw like things in parens, but I didn't see like, and I noticed that was in your SRT as there was parens, colon, and then like what they said. And it looks like those are the ones that got stripped.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go call my neighbor.
Actually, I almost wonder. But as you can see, it's syncing up really well now that I'm, well, manually went through and resynced everything.
Sketch was left with the game at Diamond Jim, so.
What a cocktail.
Yeah, phone's out, dude.
Man, are you in touch with the utility people or something?
No.
Alright, well, we're on like a scout guy.
What the fuck? Are you guys leaving already?
Actually, I was hoping we could do a load of laundry if that's okay.
Okay. But I'm not going to play it all. So what I wanted to do was just see some of those that actually, oh, so these right here have it, huh? Is it this one? There it is. Yeah, so look at that. It just, strangely, let me open up Adam here. By the way, this is what I use to find those issues is, crap, and I just closed it. No. 6, 7, here we go. Yeah, so the cool thing about Adam is there's actually a subtitles syntax highlighter. So it kind of shows, right? And you can even see like where it's showing the dates, and it's highlighting those, and then it's highlighting the things in parens. So this is where it's obviously getting weird. So the question is do we have a place where, or maybe it's just going, if something's in parens, maybe parens are supposed to be notes. Right? Yeah, like horn blowing. Does it do that? Distant banging sound, banging gets louder. Let me look at that.
Hey, you guys.
Oh yeah, look, like those didn't even. Yeah, like it's like, I think it's almost like straight deleted those. That's really weird.
Oh, hey. You guys decided to stay, huh?
You told us we could crash here last night.
Oh, I did? Fuck, better something like last night. Is your TV broke or what, man?
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, and if so I'll be able to export it back out. I guess the issue will be going back and then putting these things back in there, which will be clearly a pain in the ass. That seems really weird. It seems like that's almost like Vegas is doing the wrong thing, you know? Like if you look at the SRT spec. Let's see. So it's sub rip. Search for parens. Not really seeing anything. Parens here. Yeah, see, it's supposed to be right. Yeah, that parentheses add a square brackets or parentheses. Parentheses indicate speaker's vocal pitch. Oh, I wonder if it's maybe just Vegas because Vegas is a German product. I think German. I think Magix. Yeah, I wonder if I do this. Let me try this. I'm gonna go through and what I'll do is I'll import this to a new track. So I'm just gonna replace all of the open parens with an open bracket. Okay, so we'll do that. And then we'll replace all of the yeah, so I mean, sort of cool because that's only if this works. And then if it works, then I'll still need to like replace the ones. I've already done a lot of work, so hopefully it's not too bad. But yeah, it might be that that's just the way. There we go. So I've replaced that all. I'm going to save this as Solon fix 8.srt. Don't worry about it. I'm going to go. Oh, wait, I shouldn't have done that. I should do. Well, that's fine. Actually, that'll work. I'd rather it accidentally go to a new track rather than the one that I've already done work on. Let's see. SRT fix 8. Ah. Oh, that's right, because I did the son of a bitch. I found a site that fixed here. I think I had the wrong file. Yes, I think it's called. It was actually Solon fix 7-fix. Shit's a pain in the ass, man. Oh, interesting. So it was actually this that did that. Oh. So you know what? I'm almost wonder now if the problem was actually the fact that you had the parens in front of those lines. But we fixed that. See, so this is the file that it, like, whenever I uploaded it for... Yeah, but the thing is that I basically just solved that in a different way. But maybe you just can't do that. Like, you can't say it's the person saying the thing. Or at least not with Vegas. I don't know. But that sucks because it did actually kind of strip it all. Because it should have these, right? And then... Yeah, so I'm guessing that the problem is just that it's these. Like that all of these should just actually be... Wonder if I can do... Can I do a regex? So like... Paren... Up to an ending paren. With a colon. And replace all of those with just a dash. With a space. There you go. A dash space. If this works, I'm just gonna laugh, because that would be super surprising to get that out right on the first try. Here we go. Place all. I'll have to run a search first on this. We don't need fix 8, we need fix 7. This should have... No, not fix 7. Fix, just fix 7. There we go. But interestingly, it did actually cut these out, you know? So maybe now, yeah, now, so that basically replaced all of the parens colon stuff with just dash. That's just the line, which I think might solve that problem, or the first problem. So the next problem then will be, just do this again. It shouldn't be as bad this time either, because there's... Yeah. I'm just wondering if Vegas is just expecting brackets instead of parens. Let's save this one as 8. Try this again. This thing needs to turn off the preview. There we go. Tools. I need you on the stream more often just to create good conversation. So that still didn't import though. So not sure. I'm guessing that just like what are you supposed to do then? Like what character are you supposed to use? Or I wonder if it's just supposed to be Yes, you would think that that would totally be it. Unless it just needs to be a dash. Let me try that. Just put a dash in front of them all. Yeah, that's clean there. That's weird. Oh, I see. That's like breaking there. Yeah, what's weird is I don't understand also like the usage of the dashes versus not using the dashes. Like, oh, okay, there it is. Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to get the damn thing to pass and still actually have stuff in there. Try this again. Yeah, see, that's what I'm running into. So whenever I did that one thing and it cleared out that stuff, that's when it solved it. But it's just weird. It seems like Vegas should be able to handle that. Like, and I had, I almost wonder if it is fine. Problem is like it is actually off. Like the milliseconds problem you described before is true. Like it was off. It was pretty off. You know, I would say in some cases like almost 2 seconds off. It was, you know, in some cases it's pretty close. In other cases it's just off pretty bad. So I think it needs to be, yeah, I think it needs to be cleaned up now. That could be, it could have been that when I had loaded it in, I loaded it at the wrong place, but I ended up having to move it. Like I kept like, what I ended up doing was like I'd move everything together relatively to get like a bit in part. Then I'd get in like, you know, 5 or 6 minutes, and then like the whole thing had like drifted. So then I'd have to grab it again. So that's kind of what I was running into, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think that it probably needs to be done manually. The problem is Vegas, if Vegas can't import the parentheses stuff, that's a problem. And I get it that like it should probably be fine for, you know, if Smitty says something, that's fine. You know, who cares? We don't care that about that. But I think that like saying, you know, the sound you're hearing to describe the sound effects, like that's key. I don't know if it's necessarily key, but it's nice to have, and certainly it should be able to support it. You know, like it seems weird that it doesn't. Like, why is Vegas deleting the parentheses? And I just don't know. I mean, these files are so basic. You know, it's like it's very straightforward. You know, the number, like obviously a consecutive number for each individual caption, the timestamp of when it starts to when it ends, and then whatever you're gonna say, and like that's it. Like it's very straightforward. So it's really weird to me that it trips out like that. Almost what I'm wondering is if it's maybe these dashes. So, yeah, I don't know if we're talking about if they like. I'd have to look. Sorry, I'm trying to do a better job of explaining. I keep getting my viewers tell me that I need to speak what people are saying. So Adam the Hut is basically saying that the zombies don't have a lot to say, and that people don't necessarily need to hear them rip an ass, which I don't think they do, and I think he's making a joke with that. But there are, yeah, certainly sound effects in this that we're struggling with. By the way, I noticed you guys dropped the my version of Bringing the Sheeps, which is probably good because it was crap. So yeah, I just want to try this with. I'm gonna try this without the dashes and see if that changes anything. Basically, I'm trying to figure out like what is the yeah, I'm almost wondering if it has something to do with sometimes there are dashes. Looked like it was pretty inconsistent in there about like what had dashes and what didn't. And I didn't quite understand, but it may have been just like you said, whatchamacallit, but that's to separate, yeah, someone's talking, if someone off screen says something, yeah, anyway, it's all new to me. I'm just seeing what I can do with it. Yeah, still failing. I don't think it was that either. At this point, it's probably better too. I'm gonna look this up. SRT file sound effects. How to caption sound effects in. So it's easy to upload a video. What happens when you're place the description of sound effects typed in lowercase inside square brackets. Okay. Use present particle tense for long sustained sounds. Laughs, dog barks. Okay. So, I mean, that seems right to me. I mean, everything looks really clean now. Put the dashes back in, I guess. Hmm. Schmitty pukes before or later. It's like using every single type of bracket you could. So there's another one with. We just try to make sure. We just find each one of these and make sure that they're not. We're not combining two things with one. Because that might just be the problem right there. Like that. And that. Look, Mormons. I actually got to that scene. So what I'm trying to find is just places where there's both things on the same line. Wondering if that has something to do with it. Because again, like it almost seemed like the thing that fixed it and allowed it to import was what allowed it to import was ultimately getting rid of all of those places where the colon was, right? Where it was like someone saying something, and I bet you it got rid of just everything like that. So there's probably just, or it might even be that there's just one of these that's like particularly breaking it. Door jamb. Is that right? Or is that, should that be door jam? What is that? Am I just silly and I don't know how to spell door jam? Oh, dude, that would have sucked missing one of those. Oh, I wonder if that's it right there. Maybe just door slams. Comma. Yeah, see, this one has... Oh, yeah, you know what else it said? It said they're supposed to be lowercase. Let me do this. Yeah, I think it said, like, at least the page I saw, said, place the description of sound effects typed in lowercase inside square brackets. Use present tense for long sustained sounds, laughing, dog barking, child screaming. Yeah, which looks like that's right, what you guys did. So this would probably just be scream. So this is, I guess it's kind of weird. Maybe we go like music plays. And then we say something like that. Man in the closet. Maybe just say screaming from closet. He's Tom Cruise. That's good. Yeah, so I don't know if this is a growling in closet. They're only slightly disappointed. Closet door. Banging. Will you shut the fuck up? Oops. I guess I could just be fine, right? Because if it was, we already said what was playing, right? Oh no, because it probably. We'll see that again. That's probably good. Yeah, look, I mean, a lot of these are like, they seem to be right, and then just a handful of weird ones. And then I'm guessing, so these are the types of scenarios, like there's just like an semicolon here, right? And he's like, maybe in those cases, it's probably better to do that. Party goer. What is a party goer? Oh, because that's who said it. Right. Let's do that. Urinating. Yeah. Just making it general seems to be more fitting in what you'd expect, I think. Yeah, I'm trying not to be try not to go overboard with it, but just do enough to be consistent with what we've done so far. Roars! Yelling! All right, I'm gonna save that. Yeah, I don't know if we actually went all the way to the end. I may have just, yeah. We'll do this. Do the same thing we did before. This is consistent. I don't know if the having the credits there is even makes sense in the captions. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't care, I guess. Ooh, that might be part of it too. That was like breaking to 2 lines. I think that's just fine. Just an eerie sound. Let's just say a lighter. Ignites, maybe. Or slams, whispering intensifies. Yeah. Engine groaning, engine dies. Yeah, I noticed that there was a big gap, which is nice. Yeah, some of these things would I'm guessing that's probably supposed to be where there's like More than one thing happening at once, yeah. Yeah, I almost just want to just save this and see if this is... No, still something it doesn't like. It's just weird. Well, there is. Yeah, well, so there were several issues with the dates. So there were like in some cases there was like instead of a comma here, it was like a colon, and then also in some cases where there should be a colon, there was a comma, and then there were two cases of instead of this being like an arrow, it was missing the pointer, so it was just like dash dash. And I fixed all those, and what's cool is this, like, you could see it really clearly. Like, the line showed up red, right? So it was like... And then the thing is that I went and loaded the file into, like, someone created, like, a validator, loaded it in, and it said it was valid. So, again, I think that there's, like, two issues here. There's one, the issue of, like... Or three issues, really. It's like the issue of what Vegas wants to use. There's the issue of, you know, what was wrong with the file syntax wise. And yeah, and I can't even think of the third one now. But you know what I mean? There's like several things. Oh yeah, because the timing's off. That was the other thing. So like you need to be able to get it. I need to be able to get it into Vegas for me to actually, you know, manually line everything up reasonably. But there's probably just like one random thing that thing is fixing. That validator. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'll have to play with it some more. It's yeah, I think if nothing else, definitely grab this. This is Atom. I went to basically you just go to like the settings here. So this is basically like Notepad on crack, you know? It's just a plain text editor, but gives you all kinds of cool utility. And one of the things, so if you go to settings, you go to install, and then I just went to like typed in subtitles. And yeah, so like here's one for like translating subtitles. And then I don't know if it's going to show the ones I've already installed, but basically I installed one for syntax highlighting and was able to see. You know, obviously it's a lot easier to look at when you're seeing the dates in one color and the line, you know, or the section numbers in another color, and then the stuff in parens and brackets in another color. You know, it just helps on the eyes. It's easier to spot errors. And then, like I said, like if you actually get something wrong, like you can see actually, so here's the original, where is it? It's just sullen. So here's the original file. If I go down, I think it was like 258. Search for 258. Find, well. Yeah, see right here? Like it's just telling you that something's wrong here, right? And if you look, it's right here. See? And the moment I go and remove that colon, replace it with a comma, it's back, right? So there was like a handful of those just in the original file that I fixed. And this just makes it a lot easier to spot it. So. But yeah, but your call. I mean, I can still spend some more time with it. But the challenge is yeah, getting it, like I said, there's just several things. The issue with the syntax stuff, the issue with these parens and how to do the sound effects properly, capitalization in those things. Yeah. You know, like in this case, notice that there's like no space between, right? Like that was, so I was wondering if that's what it was. I had checked that one and it didn't change anything. Basically, what ultimately fixed everything was loading that file into, it's this one, the Solon Fix 7.6. And then it look, you can see what it did, right? So it basically just went through and anything, yeah, you can even see, and it even renumbered everything. Look at that. See? 1, it just straight stripped out the things that just had parentheses. Like that site just straight stripped it out like it didn't. Right? Yeah. Which was really weird. Like, almost want to find that site. It may have actually been that I, subtitle tools, was that it? Subtitle tool. I think it was just this. Yeah, I think this was the one that did it, and it was this SRT cleaner. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Look at this. By default. So that was my bad, actually. I should have caught that. So let me try actually loading in the original file then. Right into that. Well, no, because that won't work either, because your file did actually have. So probably Fix 7. Let me see. Does this have the... Wasn't it Fix 7? I go back. No, it's going to be Fix 6. Oh yeah, Fix 6 is probably good because that seems to have... Yeah, we'll roll with Fix 6 and see what happens here. Let's see if this works. That looks like it worked. There it is. Okay. So I'll mute this. So.
Oh, hey. You guys decided to stay, huh?
Told us we could crash here last night.
Oh, I did? Fuck, there's something about last night. Is your TV broke or what, man? It will be if he keeps beating the shit out of it.
You know, the Seahawks are on it too, man. The fucking TV won't work.
Oh, the Blackhawk?
What? No, the Seahawks, donkey dick.
Oh, yeah. Who are they playing?
If you don't know shit about a sport, don't.
Okay,
plan it.
well, that
Ask
seems to be a
who's
lot
playing.
better.
I mean, ask the score, but you know.
Man, what's with this piece of shit?
I don't know. The clock in the bedroom isn't working either.
I'm gonna go ahead out on a limb here and speculate that the power's out.
But you can see that there's some it's pretty off in some places.
See if his power's out, too.
What the hell happened over here? Man, this sucks. Let's catch what's left of the game at Diamond Gems, huh?
Got a cocktail.
So,
Yeah, the phone's out, dude.
Man, are you in touch with the utility people or something?
No.
Alright, well, we're on like a scout.
What the fuck? Are you guys leaving already?
Actually, I was hoping we could do a load of laundry if that's okay. Yeah, maybe.
I wonder if I just export it. Yeah, no, it is a lot better.
I just told you I'd buy your fucking breakfast, man. I wouldn't be in there apologizing for 3 hours.
You gonna get drinks, too?
Yeah, sure, whatever, fine.
Yeah, see, that was pretty behind, though.
Okay.
Yeah, see, that was like... Yeah, I mean, if you think it's good enough, I mean, I could just give you that file. All I did was use this SRT cleaner. Well, I had obviously done my own work to clean it up, and then took the cleaned up file and dropped it into this. Let me just send you this, and then maybe you can see if that'll work. And then... Whoops. But yeah, anyway, yeah, so maybe take a look at that. I mean, you've got the Amazon stuff, right? Like, I mean, you should be able to, like, I don't know. I don't have access to that to test it out and find out if it's, you know, if they'll accept it or whatever, but you can at least take it, see if they, if they reject it, then let's go back at it. But hopefully that, if they'll just accept it, then it looked like it was good enough. I mean, it definitely was off. Like, there's some places where it's like, it's off by a second or so, whatever. But, yeah, I mean, yeah, hopefully people don't need the subtitles to be absolutely perfect if, you know, so. But all right, I think I'm going to go ahead and head it for the night. What to save? Sure. I will be back tomorrow night at 7. So, yeah, if you guys want to pop on, say hi. We'll probably be doing some drum tracking tomorrow night. And, yeah, who knows what else? Still trying to think on the next, like, big project to do. So, you know, is that going to be COVID Christmas? Is that going to be Halloween thing? Is that going to be just public domain songs? A bunch of original random crap? I don't know. But, yeah, it's kind of up to you guys, whatever you want to do. We're at your mercy. So, yeah, so we'll be back tomorrow night. Till then, guys, take care, and see you next time. See ya.